How to remove heavier scratches out of acrylic. A few years ago I did a video of removing light scratches and marks out of acrylic. It only requires polishing, but if you have a heavier scratch like this, it's going to require some sanding. So this is just a piece of scrap I have, and I scratched it with my utility knife. And you can see the X there. And when you run your finger over it, hear how it catches my fingernail? You hear the sound? That's a definition of a heavier scratch to me, so it's going to take sanding to get that out. Regular polishing, it's not going to work. So what you're going to need is 2 grades of sandpaper. You need like 1,000 grit and then a 2,000 grit. And after that, you're going to need your polishes to finish it up. You can use Novus 3 and then go down to 2. I'm going to skip Novus 3. I find that I can get the job done just using Novus 2. And this is an option too. This is really a cleaner you can finish it up with. You also need a polyester cloth. These are a little more aggressive than cotton. Seems to work better to me, so I use these. So you want to dampen this, wring out the water, then add your Novus to it to do your polishing steps. So we'll get right into it here. So what I'm going to start with is the heavier grit, and what you want to do is go in a circular motion. I'll have to stop videoing to do this. I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time. So you want to sand this until that X is gone, wipe it off and look at it. Of course I just started, so it's not going to be gone yet. And once it's gone, you can move up to the lighter grit. So let me get started here. Okay, I've finished the first step here with the heavier grit sandpaper. Wiped off the excess dust and make sure that scratch is gone in this step. That's important because if you get down to the polishing steps and the scratch is still there, you're going to have to start all over again. Now, another thing I'd like to mention here is dry versus wet sanding. I'm just dry sanding this. It works fine. Now, if you're using power tools to sand, you want to wet sand because power tools can build up heat in the acrylic, and acrylic does not like heat very much. So you want to wet sand in that case, which helps keep the material cool. And of course, you want to be wary of using electricity and water together and all that. But yeah, I would certainly wet sand when using power tools to sand. Okay, so this is after the finer sandpaper. I did notice the scratch showing through, so I had to go back to the heavier sandpaper and clear it up in spots and then go back with the fine. I went a little larger in area. That way I'm covering all the marks that the heavier grit sandpaper made. So we're all ready to move on to the polishing step. Okay, so I took my damp polyester cloth and put some Novus 2 on it, and well, same deal, just polish it for a while, circular motion. And this step is probably going to take you the longest to get it clear, so just keep polishing, wipe it clear, see how you're doing, and just continue till it all becomes clear again. This is after about a minute of polishing, so I wiped it clean, and you can see it's looking pretty good. However, if you look at the reflection, you see we got a ways to go yet. There's still quite a bit of marks, but it is clearing up nicely, so I'll continue. Okay, the scratch is completely gone. Nice and clear now. See my bald head. One thing I do notice, the show on camera, it's a little bit of distortion. because to get rid of the scratch you have to remove some material, which leaves a little bit of distortion you might notice as I move it. But the main thing is the scratch is completely gone and the acrylic looks pretty good. But like I said, this was just a scrap piece. If you have an expensive aquarium or display case, you don't have to spend a lot of money if you're just removing a small scratch like this. Really, the polishing compound is the most expensive thing. Yes, the sandpaper is not much, cloth is not much. And that's all you need to hand polish out a small scratch. Of course, if you're going to polish a large area, that's where you want to certainly look to the power tools. But that's enough of this. I'm going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching.